Have you ever wondered what it's like to visit one of Portugal's most iconic towns at night? Alright, let me ask you something. What do you really know about Sintra? I mean, this town has a reputation and it's the stuff of legends, royalty, and, yeah, maybe a few secrets that only come out at night. Like right here, we are near the Pena Palace, and it is Portugal's real-life fairy tale castle, though it might just remind you more of a haunted storybook scene at night. You see, during the day, it's bright, colorful, almost playful and one of the most beautiful palaces in the world. But right now, well, it's got a whole different vibe. Legend has it that the palace was actually built on the ruins of an old monastery after it was struck by lightning, not once, but twice. Some say the monks' spirits still wander around, especially on misty nights like tonight, keeping watch over these halls. And if you stand really still, you might even hear the echo of footsteps from back when this place was their sacred retreat. Welcome to World with Wife, and today we bring you for a short tour of this amazing little Portuguese town called Sintra, with a small twist. Sintra at night. And Sintra's known for its castles, right? But the town itself makes you feel like you're stepping into a medieval dream, and at night, with the shadows stretching long, it's like this place wants to tell you its secrets. So here we are, just you, me, and Sintra at its most mysterious hour. Let's see what stories these old streets are willing to share tonight. And trust me, Sintra after dark. This place has a vibe you'll never forget. Alright, picture this. A town that's small enough to walk in a day but feels like it's holding a century's worth of secrets around every corner. Sintra isn't your typical charming European town, it's more like a storybook someone left open, each page telling tales of royal scandals, hidden romances, and legends nobody seems to agree on. Now, here's the twist. For a place barely 30 square kilometers, Sintra has way more castles and palaces than you'd expect. I mean, most towns have one or two, if they're lucky, but Sintra, it has enough to make you wonder if they were building castles just for the drama of it. And each one has its own story, with some filled with love, others with a bit of dark history. We are right in front of the Palácio Nacional de Sintra, or as I like to call it, the palace with all the stories. First thing I noticed are two massive chimneys. And they look a little odd, right? But they were actually built to vent the royal kitchens below and are a signature feature of this palace. So, are you ready to see what this little town has been hiding? Because trust me, once you start uncovering these stories, Sintra gets very hard to forget. This tiny, magical town is just a 40-minute train ride from Lisbon but feels like it's worlds away. Sintra itself is small, like around 380,000 people in the whole region, and that's not much when you realize just how famous this place is for its palaces, mountains, and a slightly mysterious vibe that really hits you at night. By day, this place buzzes with tourists, but at night, well, Sintra almost feels like it's holding its breath. Imagine walking through narrow, winding streets that twist and turn in ways that seem deliberate, like they were designed to keep you guessing where you're going. The hills around us here are thick with trees and vines, and on misty nights, they seem to lean in, almost like they're trying to whisper secrets from centuries past. And if you're into ghost stories, let me tell you, there are plenty here. Now, Sintra's economy might be tourism heavy these days, but back in the day, this area was a rural stronghold. Agriculture thrived, and the town's wealth actually came from serving royalty and nobles who'd escape here from the heat of Lisbon. I think my husband was trying to spook me, because the further we walked, the darker it got. And then we turned back, as I refused to take one step further. The real charm here is the layout of this town, which is built into the side of a lush, forested mountain with views that make you feel like you're in some enchanted kingdom. And, in the background, there's the Palácio da Pena and the Moorish castle up on the hill, both bathed in faint moonlight. They say that the Palácio da Pena was built as a folly, a sort of playground for the royals, with bright colors and whimsical designs. But the Moorish castle? Well, that one's older, rougher, and let's just say, its history's got a few dark chapters. Legend has it that the castle was built to intimidate, like, literally to send a message to anyone approaching Sintra that this town was under serious protection. And later, when the Christians retook it, they say soldiers heard strange sounds echoing through its halls. But I am sure that you have noticed, as we are walking around, that at night, Sintra's town centre transforms into this captivating, almost otherworldly scene. It's small and intimate, with narrow cobblestone streets winding through centuries-old buildings, each one with its own slightly mysterious vibe. The lighting is dim but intentional, with soft, golden street lamps casting a warm glow on the old stones and ivy-covered walls. Most shops and cafes are closed, but the signs and window displays reflect the town's fairy-tale feel, hinting at treasures within, from traditional sweets like travesseros to local artisan crafts. Sintra is tucked into a valley, surrounded by forested hills that climb steeply in the background, making it feel like the whole town is nestled in the embrace of nature itself. You can feel history pressing in from all sides, especially under the stillness of night. There's a mist that often settles over Sintra at night, swirling around the hills and creeping down into town, adding a dreamy and slightly eerie layer to the landscape. It's almost as if the night air itself whispers stories of royals, poets, and ancient travelers who've walked these same paths. The whole place feels as if it's holding its breath, waiting for something magical to happen. And honestly, in a town this charming, it's hard to shake the feeling that it just might. We hope that you have enjoyed this short tour of Sintra. And honestly, Sintra at night? Well, it's more than just a beautiful sight. It's a place where you feel like anything could happen. Well, who's to say it hasn't already?